Games are ranked by play score, a standard rating that averages gamer reviews and critic reviews. Opening our list of top 10 PS Vita multiplayer games is One Piece Unlimited World Red. When it comes to PS Vita, its long list of brawlers and JRPGs always overshadows other genres. Gambarian's take on the different kinds of One Piece offers the same style and vibes from the hit anime it was based on. Follow the Straw Hat Pirates in their quest around the world to find the elusive One Piece. It's a colorful experience with fast-paced brawling combat. Choose from a variety of heroes and take down hordes of enemies with style. The only gripe about this game is its wasted multiplayer. It's good, but it's only for co-op. They could have added a versus mode for added fun. Nevertheless, it's still an adventure on the high seas with a play score of an 8.17. Ninth on our list is Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. Return to the racetrack in the sequel to the popular kart racing video game that dominated the previous generation consoles way back in 2010. The iconic characters from Sega go out in a wild ride to show who is the best kart racer of them all. The biggest improvement of this game comes from its multiplayer hurdles. Players can now swap vehicles during the racetrack depending on the terrain. Grab a boat during sailing moments or fly into the air when the floor disappears. It's a highly detailed game with good physics and dynamic velocity. Prepare to lose some of your friends and pick from a wide variety of characters coming from all of Sega's games. Be it characters from Jet Set Radio, Sonic the Hedgehog, or more, it has a play score of an 8.19. Eighth on our list is Hot Shot Golf World Invitational. It's Hot Shot Golf's debut on the Sony's PS Vita, and it still has the expressive personality that once was a signature of its previous entries of the franchise. Choose from among its quirky band of cute characters and swing your golf to score enough stars. More stars mean more levels, and more levels mean more fun. It can be a bit cumbersome due to its complicated learning curve, but with further practice, it can be very enjoyable. And of course, who could forget their multiplayer mode? Step into the game's lobby and play locally or internationally with friends. It has a play score of an 8.25. Seventh spot goes to Olliolli 2. Welcome to Olliwood. The sequel to Roll 7's radtacular skating game returns with all new styles. This maximizes the PS Vita's portable capabilities and proves that 2D street skating is charming as hell. From the team that gave us Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, expect a more refined skating experience with free-flowing tricks and skillful grinds. Its multi-layered levels can pack obstacles that enable you to do kickflips, ollies, and more. Its learning curve is obviously complex. Master the art of timing and work on your reflexes because it rewards good scores. Multiplayer is also something. Go on a local split screen with a friend and nab the highest scores in the most efficient ways. It receives a play score of an 8.26. Sixth place goes to Senran Kagura Estival Versus. Oh, come on. Every PS Vita user knows this game and needs to have this. If not for these busty ladies in their tight swimsuits, experience its fast-paced action packed with sexy goodness. These ninja girls are returning once again in a more violent adventure than ever before. It's only a matter of time before we find out who is the best academy of them all. Take control of the original roster of steamy gals, but with the polished moveset and upgraded abilities. It's high-flying, high-bounce, and fun. The third-person brawler is brutal, and the multiplayer is something to enjoy. Gather your friends and go on an all-out battle with a maximum of 10 players. Who doesn't want a game of Capture the Bra? Pick your best fighter, because this game has a play score of an 8.31. We're down to our number 5 with Castlestorm. This game feels like the love child of Rovio's Angry Birds series and tower defense games. It's a 2D sieging game that speaks of destruction and carnage. Feel the falling of rocks, blowing of cannons, and clanking of swords in its incredible, odd, and humorous ways. Witness the war of knights and Vikings as they lay siege upon their enemies' walls. Use the power of medieval artillery and blow up your enemies' walls to the ground. But remember, they can also do the same. It's a good mix of strategy, resource collecting, and comedy gold. As for its multiplayer, it has various modes which includes a 1v1 battle against an opponent or survival co-op with a friend. Fight and defend because this game has a play score of an 8.37. Fourth on our list is Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions Evolved. A multi-directional shooter of epic proportions. Enter a prismatic universe of polygonal shapes that blow up like supernovas. Battle waves and waves of enemies in a three-dimensional world, be it with a friend or even alone. This award-winning shooter boasts some impressive content and absurd difficulty spikes. Complete its over 100 levels of unmitigated chaos. This entry to the franchise also offers new modes such as pacifism, king, claustrophobia, and so much more. If the challenge isn't enough for you, then take on the game's hardcore difficulty and prepare your fingers. Multiplayer is also fun. Team up with a friend and survive against its unrelenting waves of evil mathematical shapes. It has a play score of an 8.40. We're down to our number 3 with BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma. From the ashes of Continuum Shift, Chrono Phantasma continues the legacy of Arc System Works' acclaimed fighting franchise. It's the third game of the series and also is the most prominent. An extended version was also released after the game's success, adding more characters to the fray and a new story. But this game continues to turn the wheels of fate with a wave of fresh faces along with some old ones. There are over 28 playable heroes in an all-packing moveset that rattles the course of fate. A new gameplay mechanic called Overdrive replaces the previous game's Gold Burst, and this edition adds spice to the already spectacular fighting experience. Aside from that, new music and updated character sprites make the game even better. It has a play score of an 8.47. Second place goes to Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. When it comes to Pokemon's other rival, Bandai Namco's Pocket Monsters also come in for a fight. This third-person role-playing game is the latest entry of its long-standing franchise. Enter a cyberspace filled with a deep mystery that could pose a potential threat to the digital universe. In this cyber world, tame digital monsters known as Digimon will help you on your journey. There are over 200 Digimon to collect, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. In its multiplayer mode, fight against a friend locally or online with your own set of Digimon. It's a battle of wits and training as both of you get on your own edge in battle, all depending on your Digimon journey. The game has a play score of an 8.52. Here are the runners-up before we reveal the number 1. Joe Danger. Go on an Evil Knievel contest with your friends and race against time. The last person to reach the goal is the loser. It has a play score of an 8.16. Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune, and the Dice of Fate. That's a long name. Team up with a friend locally and survive in the game's brutal roguelike adventure. It has a play score of an 8.16. Rayman Legends. Ubisoft's psychedelic platformer is not the kind of multiplayer game to play with your friends, but you can compare your scores via leaderboards. It has a play score of an 8.14. Stealth Inc. 2, a game of clones. Similar to Rayman, compare your scores from leaderboards with your friends in a fun platformer that lets you escape a sinister facility. It has a play score of an 8.13. MLB 12 The Show. Baseball at its finest. Play with a friend and find out who's the best at playing America's favorite pastime. It has a play score of an 8.11. You can get these games right now by clicking the links below. And the best PlayStation Vita multiplayer game is Soul Sacrifice Delta. The ability to sacrifice a part of your body in exchange for power is the reason why this game was a huge success. Delta is an extended version of 2013's game for the PS Vita. Defeat an evil sorcerer and reclaim your freedom in its demented world. Face off with humongous beasts and twisted magical memories and use the power of your sacrificial body parts to grant yourself an edge in battle. Its third-person action RPG is similar to Capcom's Monster Hunter franchise. But enough about that. The game's multiplayer is where the Soul Sacrifice Delta shines. Gather your friends locally or online to aid you in your phantom quests. In your effort to quell evil, your teammates can actually die too. It's your choice to take their body and power yourself up, or to bring them back to life by giving a portion of your body. It's a truly morbid experience, but it's deeply satisfying, and it has a play score of an 8.63.